Yo, what's up, humans? I'm Mickey. This is Quinn.
Hey guys!
We are checking out the science of semen retention today. There's been a lot of talk on the interwebs on Earth about this subject, and we want to see what's up.
Talking about the big movie. We're making a big movie. It's about math, and then we're going to do one about the sun. And we're still working on those. So subscribe, because you want to know when they come out. They're going to be really good.
Without further ado,
What if you stopped masturbating? ASAP Science, 9.7 million views.
After a week, male testosterone levels go up by 40%, or at least that's what a 2003 study found, which caught worldwide media attention and in part led to the NoFap community, fapping being slang for masturbating. Supporters of the NoFap movement also claim improved sexual performance and higher sperm quality, along with feelings of improved motivation, self-esteem, and happiness. While the study did see increased testosterone, it went back down to normal levels on day 8 with no explanation.
So you have to pulse this?
Found no difference at all in testosterone levels between those who masturbated and those who abstained.
Oh no, this is going downhill fast.
Like changing diet and exercise, which also impact testosterone, may more likely be the cause for any changes found. It turns out that those who ejaculated more frequently had sperm that were stronger swimmers, which improves chances of fertilization.
Whoa.
In fact, masturbation can increase dopamine and serotonin neurotransmitter release, which stimulates the reward pathway in the brain.
We're talking about addiction now.
Constant masturbation
That seems like a whole new can of worms.
Of serotonin and dopamine,
And a lot of chafing.
which leads to our brain becoming desensitized. But the science behind masturbation shows that it can improve sleep, reduce stress and pain, and improve your immune system, along with a slew of other health benefits, which we covered in another video on masturbation here. In men, it can even reduce prostate cancer risk. Of course, these studies investigated primarily the experience.
No, there's holes in his face. Maybe he's so worried about prostate cancer, he's screaming twice.
But for most, in moderation, masturbation is a healthy activity with some genuine scientific benefits.
It's basically exercise, you
So
know?
is eating.
I can get you to quit watching porn in only 2 days.
Oh no, oh no. Oh no.
That guy
We're
looks like
coming
he's
to you,
watched a
Pinnacle of
ton of
Men.
porn.
We're seeing you in a minute, don't worry. No, stop. I like the scientific presentation.
Most of the science was about testosterone, from what I could tell, mechanistically. And women don't really want to have high testosterone, it seems like.
Maybe they make estrogen?
Didn't mention that.
No, but studies rarely look at women, so I'm sure they're basically the same, right? 3 scientific benefits of NoFap. The truth after 90 days. All right, Pinnacle of Men. Oh, this is the guy from the advertisement.
NoFap has completely cured them of this social anxiety.
They gain superhuman powers.
Whoa.
9 months in,
Shoot lasers out of their
I
eyes.
felt like Superman.
I got a job promotion.
Because I finally stopped touching my dick all the time.
More energy, testosterone.
I could pick up a truck.
Amazing.
Prove it.
So in this video, you're going to get 3 scientific objective specific
Science.
happened beneficially in my life after.
Is an event science?
Number 1,
No.
I have a lot more of this. No, not watches. I have.
Oh, he spent a lot of time masturbating.
I have a lot more time. I did some research, and the average porn session on Pornhub is about. Now, if you don't know this, dopamine is that neurochemical in your brain, the transmitter.
There's
that
some
adds
really good
incentive
graphics.
to go get things in life. 100% is activated when we want sex, and what happens is that whenever we have an
100%?
excess amount and we get
Of what?
something easily,
Don't
Of your
worry.
dopamine?
Don't worry about it. Yeah,
okay,
all of
we don't
it.
need to
All of
exert
it floods
as much
out.
None left.
in that area as much. So if you imagine
You
it
can't
like
lift your
this.
arms.
Let's go to the board. Thanks.
Ooh, he's got a
Josh there.
business-looking suit on now.
Office.
This is really pro for a movie about not masturbating.
Activated 550.
This reminds me of those get-rich-quick type movies.
You're very active.
I'm going to tell you how to sell some houses.
Your body's like, okay, we only need to release this much next time to get off, to get that need met. Next time,
Tolerance.
it's that, and the next time. So when you have that need and that desire to actually go out and talk to a woman, you're going to have very little dopamine and very little incentive to go talk to her because of
Are you sure? It's a different experience, bro.
Thanks, Science Josh. The last and final benefit is that it affects
So
your
no
mental
motivation
health
for
or
partnering?
self-esteem. One study took over 450 people and asked them questions about their porn frequency and their mental health. Nearly 30% reported that they view pornography at least 3 to 5 times a week, and over 25% indicate that they view pornography daily. The general population on this score or this measure had a 6.5 level of their depression.
Ooh, a number of depression scale.
Had a depression score of 18.
Is that more or less
Now, the question
depression?
is the chicken and the egg. Are you depressed so you watch porn more, or does watching porn make you more depressed? I think they're cyclical. I think they affect
Here
each
at
other.
Pinnacle of
But
Man, we don't
essentially,
worry
this
about
study
cause and
shows
effect.
that the more you view porn, the more isolated you feel and the more depressed you get. It's to your
Unpublished
science,
findings.
especially in bed. Now, when I work with clients, they ask me if they can still masturbate and not watch porn. And honestly, I don't see a problem with that.
I'm like, can you wait till you get home at least?
Yeah, seriously. Put your
But 'cause I
pants
think porn
on.
is the real enemy and not masturbation. After you view pornography, you feel guilty and shameful and kind of flat and disgusting and just deflated. I mean, Joe Rogan talks about that.
It's like
Show you've really let yourself go.
Balanced in there. Like I don't mean to apply like a sin to it at all. I'm just saying like personally, it feels a little dissipative when you're doing it a lot.
If I continued down this path, I was acting in a way that didn't match up with my identity. And that's what you need to change.
5 easy
Separates
payments of
himself from the majority of
$9.99.
society that is
I'll help
able
you,
to become
so you don't
better,
have to be like me anymore.
reach a higher
Like
paradigm.
how he
not
funds his porn studio in the next room.
Oh my god.
come to something
I
so
make porn now.
Is this slanderous?
force
Are we
yourself
gonna get
to
sued by this?
Work for things and earn it.
So what do we learn? What do we learn?
Apparently, people are masturbating frantically all day long and losing days and days of their time to it.
But might be good for their glands or something.
I think that addiction is the problem with all of these, right? So, honestly, the science of NoFap is the science of addiction, not really anything else.
What the hell is addiction?
Anything that, when it's gone from your life, you feel dysfunctional. Yes,
So
food, water.
some addictions you can't live without then, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely addicted to food and water and air.
So not all addictions are unhealthy.
I don't think so. I think you can get addicted to healthy stuff all the time. You can get addicted to exercising.
I feel like the way people use the word addiction, it almost always has to mean something negative.
Yeah, but I think they're wrong. Honestly, I prefer the perspective that everyone's an addict. Some people let it get out of hand. There's no one without addictions. You heard it here first.
Anyways, what do we got next?
Let's look. NoFap. Scientific evidence that it works.
I strongly believe that NoFap is the #1 most life-changing change that you can make in your life today. But there's a lot of skepticism behind quitting.
Strong belief is the
pornography, as our
basis of science.
society
Everyone knows
actually
this.
encourages young men and women to watch porn and masturbate. It's considered normal. It's considered healthy. And because of this, there's millions of people on this planet that are not aware of the dangerous side effects of viewing pornography. So today I'm
Yikes.
going to convince you to take on the NoFap challenge. and quit
Moral
pornography
panic is
for
also
good
really
by using
scientific.
scientific
I
evidence
don't understand
to
this.
back up my claims.
Pornography and masturbation are a
Before we
synonymous
jump into
thing.
pornography,
Doesn't anybody just
we have
masturbate
to
without
talk
porn?
about a-
Maybe
it's
it's
a
like there's no
neurotransmitter
way
that
that
is
you'd
responsible
masturbate 30
for
times a
seeking
day
and
if you
searching
didn't have
rewards.
pornography.
Because sex is crucial for the survival of your genes, so your body always rewarded you the most for it. It raises your
Wonder if that's
dopamine levels to
true.
around 200%, which is the same
What does that
amount as
mean?
morphine,
Percent of
and
what?
a bit lower than cocaine, which stands at 300%. And unlike cocaine, which peaks at 300% for only a couple of minutes, it's like taking another little bump of cocaine. And unlike cocaine, which is something you can only do so much of because of its high cost,
Says you.
You got 3.5 million views on this video. You can afford plenty of cocaine, man.
Seriously.
And remember, over the course of years of watching porn, you end up doing some serious damage to your dopamine reward circuits. This is a large reason as to why there are so many men out there that have mental disorders such as social anxiety, depression, and lack of motivation. It's because they are constantly screwing with their dopamine, and the worst part is that society is actually encouraging them to do so.
Society or markets?
Increase in
Is
social
markets part of
skills,
society?
feeling of being alive again. It's because when they
feel like are your
finally
buddies
stop
like,
watching
yeah, dude,
porn,
watch as
their
much porn as you
dopamine
want.
levels
Right.
start returning to normal.
Or your
Take on
buddy's
the
like,
NoFap
hey
challenge,
man,
and
we
I
haven't
can
seen you in like
guarantee
3
that you'll
weeks
see the
and
same
you're
benefits.
bleeding through your
I
pants.
will absolutely
But
tell
I
you
just started a
how
porn
to
site. Maybe you should
actually
check it
go
out.
about quitting pornography. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below and I'll be
Please ask a real scientist. All right, so what have we learned here?
More moral panic. I don't think that there's anything. Well, there's some pornography that isn't inherently bad, but I think that most of these
According to
videos,
who? What do you mean bad?
there's people that are, women who are in charge of making it. They're making lots of money. They're very empowered. Like,
They're volunteering for it, in other words.
yeah, this
but-
isn't something that they're oppressed into, I don't think. I think it's something that they elect because they're good at it, like any other business.
But the argument's not made that it's bad for women. The argument's made it's bad for men.
I think that the argument that they've made so far is that the porn is making them feel something bad. And the previous guy mentioned that he was watching really messed up porn, which might have more to do with it than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Well, then the argument turns to what's it doing to your brain, and that's come up twice now, where there's like the tolerance to sexual activity that can only be remedied with novelty. I wonder if this stuff drives promiscuity.
Porn?
Yeah,
I don't know.
based on the novelty effect this guy mentions.
I think that if it increases social anxiety, it just drives more porn consumption. You might start watching more different kinds of porn in order to satisfy novelty, but you wouldn't actually go out and talk to someone.
All right, what's up next?
Why porn changes the brain, the science of NoFap.
This discussion is about the brain changes made by high-speed internet porn, a phenomenon that didn't exist until around 20 years ago. Take, for example, the small mouse-like creature called an antechinus. The males have very short lifespans because at a certain point, they will have finished making all the sperm that they can and lose the ability to make any more. When they have reached this point, they will aggressively mate with as many females as they can, tirelessly having sex for hours on end to the point that their fur falls off, they bleed internally, and their immune system fails, leaving them riddled with gangrene.
Wow,
They will
that's
then
brutal.
continue to have sex until they die. Luckily,
What a way to go, man.
we do not lose the ability to produce sperm, and we are very keen on staying alive. We have a very strong imperative to protect ourselves, to feed ourselves, to survive, and many mechanisms are set in place to motivate us to do so. In particular, the brain has within it the all-powerful dopamine system. If we go all the way back to the Paleolithic era when the hardware for the human dopamine system, the brain, was being developed, these reproductive
They
opportunities...
didn't have brains before the Paleolithic.
Dopamine isn't the pleasure molecule, it's the molecule that controls wanting, the seeking of pleasure.
Nobody's blamed this on
Dopamine
quantum
is released
physics
when
yet.
You get a new or unexpected
The multiverse
reward.
is coming.
At first, its purpose is to make you learn what behavior got you that reward. Your brain understands that now there's
I love
another
that this
chance
has
for a
turned
reward,
into
so
a
your dopamine
PSA against
rises again,
smartphones.
and the cycle repeats. This
Which I'm like, yeah, right on, man.
keeps
You love your smartphone.
it might be how, say, Twitter
Like
could
the
cause
first
a
thing you bought
surge
when we
in
got to Earth.
dopamine.
After I go out some
The
heroin.
frequency of the dopamine rise. Quick thumb
Priorities,
swipe
man.
is all you need to reinforce to your brain that using the internet is a valuable, important experience.
We predicted that based on the way sex causes these reward chemicals in the brain to be produced, that we would see some of the same brain scan findings that we find with drugs.
And
Seems
did
to be
you?
proving him right.
Okay.
Gary Wilson, author of the very
Who was that
Your
guy?
Brain on Porn and host of the
Some
website
guy.
yourbrainonporn.com, points out that studies
Also host of the website porn.com.
show that the
Also
users
not
experience brain
a
changes as those
person
suffering
with
from
a special
sensitization-
interest here.
Sensitization to porn.
Not
desensitization
at all.
for porn,
Does he have a
and
dog in this fight?
hypofrontality.
So he brought up something interesting about addiction in this one,
Hmm.
where he basically said that it had to have this tolerance building effect with the dopamine system. So it's not enough that you do something habitually that you can't live without. It's that it becomes less and less pleasurable over time.
But if you're hungry and you don't eat food, the amount of dopamine you get from the first time you eat food will be huge, and then you'll develop a tolerance, and then you'll settle to a new baseline. So by that definition, food is definitely addictive. So is breathing,
Totally.
probably.
Especially sugary foods.
Sure, but all foods. Like, I think that eating anything salty or fatty or fried or crunchy.
Damn it, I think you're right. I think I'm addicted.
I told you! Everyone's addicted to everything. Does that make it meaningless? I don't think so. I think it makes people more compassionate to think that way. Anyways, that video was great.
All right, Doc. Tell me why everything I've just learned is bullshit.
All right, Dr. debunks NoFap.
NoFap community ranges from the vanilla, run-of-the-mill self-help community over to these religious cult-like sects who all believe in refraining from jerking the gherkin, buttering the bishop, taming the dragon, choking the chicken, fastening the chin strap on the helmet of love.
Doesn't make sense.
Some of the benefits that people claim from it are more energy, more concentration, deeper voice.
Day 90 plus. I'm
women
telling you,
approaching
it's
them out of
going
nowhere
endlessly.
and seeing through the fabric of time and space. The question is, does it work? I think there are 4 possible mechanisms for the benefits that
Yeah, mechanisms.
from NoFap. The first
Finally.
one, and the most plausible, is the resetting of dopamine sensitivity in relation to increased sexual novelty that people get from internet pornography. The second is improvement in subjective self-image through closing that gap of cognitive dissonance from a behavior that they might associate with guilt or shame through societal or religious influence. Third is the more esoteric explanation of yogic and tantric traditions, which are talking specifically about retaining semen and cultivating your life essence. And then the fourth one, which I see thrown around the most, is to do with testosterone and ejaculation. The data actually suggests that there's no real acute relationship between the two, possibly a transient increase at week 1 and week 3 of sexual abstinence.
I'm telling you, it's about willpower.
So the dopamine sensitivity and maladaptive response theory is the most evidence-based one. If you look at the rats,
people just want to prove they can do difficult stuff.
Yeah, seriously.
Rats, they end up with a progressive.
Like, I can do something difficult. I feel strong.
Seriously. And you walk through the world feeling strong, and people treat you different.
Short-circuited,
pretty straightforward.
On-tap access to sexual novelty. Some of the signs of dopamine dysregulation can look very similar.
Let's see if this guy nails it.
So what I see in the benefits that people get from NoFap looks like that it's people coming from a pathological state into a normal state. And the benefits that they're seeing are really the absence of a pathological behavior. The question is, do these benefits exist for someone that doesn't have these maladaptive behaviors? I think
if you're not addicted, will help you.
Kind of benefits. A lot of people who
you got to be over the like bad for you threshold in the addiction world.
Maybe that was the lead domino in making a lot of other positive changes in their life, and they assign it all to that one thing. There is also that depression is associated with increased frequency of masturbation.
All right,
see, they're selling courses.
We're doing 3 scientists and 2 internet idiots.
2 scientists and 2 internet idiots.
Fine.
You can't just be serious all the time.
And 1 quantum physicist.
Okay.
I really like what the doctor guy said. I think he's right. It's about resetting. It's about doing difficult things. It's about having a pathology and resolving that. Learning that you can resolve pathologies. That
Empowerment.
kind of thing. Empowerment. Proving to yourself. And that might be totally valuable. But it's interesting to me there's just no real talk of the absolute threshold. Each person's to discover their threshold. There was like a brief mention right in the first study. It was like after 5 days, you could masturbate again and everything would be fine.
You go back to your threshold?
Yeah.
Or baseline? This sounds like a demystifying science episode.
Seems like a very personal thing. Like
addictions, baselines.
You got to set your own pathological threshold.
Got to set your own pathological threshold.
For all activities, right?
Indeed.
Oh.
Next on Demystifying Science, setting your own threshold for pathological activities.
Yeah, we're going to have Tony Robbins on that show.
Come back next week. See you soon, humans.
Peace.
Bye.